Hello. Today I want to read something in English, and just because it's a while that I haven't streamed. I don't streaming about 9 days, 10 days. Not sure about it, but for me, these are good way to help me refocus or help me um to to get back the right pace. So okay, right. I'm gonna check the um background music is a work or not. So hold on a second. I'm gonna open some music and make sure that it's all okay. Wait for a second. Alright, I want to talk about today. I'm going to read a book named Simply Said. It's like I think it's like a conversation teaching book that can help me to to be more familiar with uh, talking in English. Maybe you'll hear some streaming, be more familiar with. Okay, I can hear the voice. Now let's try to play some music. I'm gonna find some no copyright. Oh gosh. Maybe this one. check the voice. Is that too loud or it's just okay? Maybe I can test this way. Okay. Just want to know, is this a volume is suitable, is appropriate or not? So, and I don't want to conflict the music or background sound, so I'll stop here and go back to my streaming to check talking in English. And I don't want to conflict the music or background sound, so I'll stop here and go back to my streaming to check talking in English. And I don't want to conflict the music or background sound, so I'll stop here and go back to my streaming to check talking in English. It seems like the background music is suitable, so, and I don't want to conflict the music. That's okay, so you can just start. I connect my iPad to my computer, and now it seems like it's not really stable. I'll try it. I believe that is okay. Just started. Simply said, communicating better at work and beyond. So recommendation. Communicating better at work and beyond. So let's go. Content. It's really important to read content before we start to read whole book. So section 1 is about content. What do I mean? And once upon a time. What do I mean? Once upon a time. Organize the content. And about section 2 is oral communication skill. Stand up and stand out. Body language. And chapter 5 is waiting to talk. Is I think it is okay. Waiting to talk is a passive way. Say it, save it, say it. Take note, take. What if they ask you something? I don't know. Yeah, that's really responding to question that I don't know exactly. What is this? What is it? Section 3. It's about reading. It's about writing. Challenge every word. Okay. Structuring my document. Make it easy. Make a reader-friendly document. Hidden send with confidence. Write email. Section 4 is interaction. Dialogue. I can't do it all. Do you have a minute? Sharing some minimal feedback. Raising my glass. Pass the mic. It's interaction. Okay. Possibilities are endless. Section 5. Leadership. Inspire and influence. From invisibility, authenticity. Okay, so this is about appendix. Grammar guideline. Video resource. Oh, really? Acknowledgement. Okay. Introduction. Focus on others. 25 years ago, I think she was wandering through a department store in Quincy, Illinois. Eastern Michigan, Boston. Is it around Boston? Okay. Just content. I think this movement is okay. So Eastern Central in the US. Carrying my 5-month-old son John on her arm, while his wife was busy shopping. Like all kids, John had been babbling since shortly after birth. Babbling. The action or fact of talking rapidly and continuously in a foolish, excited, continuous murmur sound of flowing water. So it sounds like nonsense, babbling. So I can't do this. Oh, okay. Babbling since shortly after birth, but as he carried him through the store, his babbling changed. He started to shout in short bursts, and after each outcry, he'd stop and look around, searching for the sound. He'd shout again and grow quiet. Then something clicked, and he smiled. He realized the sound was coming from him, and his world had suddenly changed. He had found his voice. After that, there was no stopping him. For the rest of the time we waited for Mary, John shouted, stopped, giggled, and shouted again, louder and louder each time. Many of us spend our lives in the struggle to define ourselves and how we relate to our surroundings. We each endeavored to find our voice and our personal message to the world. Endeavored. Tried hard to do or achieve something. Okay. We each endeavor to find our voice in our personal message to the world. This book can't help me know who am I, but it can help me communicate my message, my talents, my ambitions, my goals. My perceived contribution to my community, to those around me, and to do so simply and clearly. Perceived. Kind of weird or conscious. Come to realize you're under something. Babbling. Hold on a second. Arrange my table. Okay. Or no. Oh. I just suddenly, yes, the screen resources come back. Okay. Okay. Short burst. Break open or apart suddenly and violently. Burst. 应该是一个短促的一个声音。Okay, just endeavored. Try really hard. Okay. Introduction, focus on others. If we want to improve our ability to connect with others, if you want to improve your ability to connect with others, to understand them and to be understood more clearly, the easiest and most effective way to do so is to focus less on yourselves and more on the other person. None of us exists in a vacuum. 应该是动词吧。是空白。Vacuum, a space entirely devoid of matter. A vacuum cleaner. 吸尘器。真空。Human history isn't the story of individuals. It's the story of how individuals have interacted with others. Our identity is to determine to a great extent and it's determined to a great 很大程度上面应该是 to a great extent. My little dog. By how we see ourselves impacting other people. In short, your simple and clear message is dictated in part by the world around me. In short, my simple and clear message is dictated in part by the world around me. Dictate. State or order or say or read out loud. Dictate. Say it out loud. say it out loud. It's dictate. Write down. Sure. A minute. Your message, my message to the world is of necessity. My message is connecting me to the world. We're all basically self-focused. That's an innate human trait. Innate human trait. 自然的吗？与生俱来的 innate, inborn natural. Trait, human trait, human trait, human trait. A distinguished quality or characteristic. So it is a synonym to characteristic. Character. Sure. That's not a bad thing. In fact, it helps us survive. I think I need to remember some useful sentence. I was wandering through carrying something, and while something. Then something clicked. I like this sentence. Dad found his voice. After that, there was no stopping him. After that, there was no stopping him. I think this is a general sentence that can use to a lot of scenario. This is also the good sentence. Many of us spend our lives in a struggle to define ourselves and how we relate to our surroundings. I forgot to perceive. What is perceive? Perceive. Become aware or conscious. My perceived 被察觉到的贡献。If you want to be understood more clearly, exists in a vacuum. Human history isn't the story of individuals, it's the story of how individuals have interacted with others. You're right. That is right. This is a good sentence too, I think. Human history isn't the story of individuals. It's the story of how individuals, 个人, have interacted with others. Our identity is determined to a great extent by how we see ourselves impacting other people. In short, my simple and clear message is dictated in part by the world around me. My message to the world is of necessity. 这些句子太难了，所以我先不学。My message to the world is of necessity. My message connecting me to the world. We're all basically self-focused. That's an innate human trait. Innate human trait. That's an innate human trait. 讲这个所以挺好。Oh, what's this? That's not a bad thing. In fact, it helps us survive. But it is also the leading cause of our miscommunication. And it's also the leading cause, 主要的原因 leading cause of our miscommunication. Our instinctive approach. What's this? Our instinctive. Wrong. Instinctive. Okay, relating to or prompted by instinct. Instinct done without conscious thought. Okay. Urge to communicating is to speak to others from our own perspective rather than from theirs. That's true. Our instinctive approach to communicating is to speak to others from our own perspective rather than from theirs. Conversely, it's conversely me. Conversely.哦，相反的 ，conversely 相反的。Conversely, we also listen to others through our personal filters, making assumptions and hearing ideas through the prisms of personal experience. Prism, a solid geometric figure whose two ends are similar. Prism. Through the prisms of, I think that's maybe a 譬喻. Also listen to others through our personal filters. That's a good sentence. Conversely, we also listen to others through our personal filters and making something, because each of us has a unique path through life, Communicating from that personal experience immediately creates a disconnect between us and others. This disconnect is what leads to miscommunication. That's right. If you want to improve your ability to connect with others, to understand them, and to be understood more clearly, the easiest and most effective way to do so is to focus less on ourselves and more on the other person. This is the single most significant differentiator we can apply to our communication skills to improve our effectiveness. Differentiator can effectiveness. The degree to which something is successful in producing a desired result. Effectiveness 就是名词 shop significant differentiator something that enables a difference of distinction to be made. An organ or substance that includes or controls differentiation. Single most we can apply. When we communicate, instead of thinking, what am I trying to convey? 传达 transport or carry to a place. Yes. We should ask ourselves, what is he reading my email? Why is he reading my email or attending this meeting? What does she hope to get out of this presentation? 她想从这里拿到什么东西 What does she hope to get out of this presentation? What does she hope to get out of this presentation? If we put the focus on what the other person is trying to gain from the exchange, we will do a better job communicating because we will select more pertinent information, relevant or applicable to a particular matter. 更恰当贴切 pertinent. Select more pertinent information. Select more pertinent information. Drill down. Drill. A tool, a machine with a rotating cutting tip or rotating hammer. 电钻 rotating cutting tips. Cutting tips 还是电锯 Drill down to the desired level of detail. Let it drill down. forgot it. To the desired level of detail and make the information we are sharing more accessible to our audience. Make the information we are sharing more accessible. Please make the information we are sharing. It's easy to say focus on your audience, but it's hard to put that concept into practice. At Exicom, we have spent more than 35 years helping people clarify, simplify, and deliver their ideas to those around them. In this book, we will give you straightforward tactical steps you can implement immediately to communicate more effectively by focusing less on myself and more on other people. Tactical relating or constituting actions carefully planned to gain a special tactical 策略上面 calculated 计算 Okay, by putting simple steps into practice over time, I will intuitively start to communicate from outside my personal framework. Start to communicate from outside my personal framework and apply the concepts and settings beyond those covered in this book. Apply concepts and settings beyond those covered in this book. 对于那些这本书里面没有包含的东西，也可以理解。That's the bigger win for me and for those with whom you connect. With whom you connect. Communicate from outside my personal framework. 这一句不是很懂，但是总觉得很。I will. Over time, I will intuitively start to communicate from outside my personal framework. Okay, they have organized this book into 5 main sections: content, substance of what I want to convey, oral communication skills, the way I convey my substance, my written communication skills, the way I represent myself when I represent myself when I'm not physically present. Okay. My interactions, the settings in which I engage my audience, whether it's an audience of 1 or 100. My leadership, the way I set the tone and relate to others. In each section, I will learn to ensure that what I say and how I say it help me connect with my audience. I will learn to ensure that what I say and how I say it help me connect with my audience. What I say and how I say it help me connect with my audience. I will learn to ensure that what I say and how I say it help me to connect help me to connect with my audience. Overall, when I communicate with people, I can talk about one of three things. I can talk about myself. I can talk about my content. I can talk to the audience about the audience. Newsflash. What is newsflash? My audience doesn't care about me. Nothing personal, but they don't. Nothing personal, but they don't. 不是针对，但他们就是这样做。事实上 in fact, they don't really care about my content. They care about how my content impacts them, which is different from my content itself. If I want to connect with my audience, minimize how much I talk about myself or my content, and only talk about those things to the extent that they impact my audience's needs. What does this mean in execution? What does this mean in execution? 在实际上代表什么呢？ What does this mean in execution? Listen carefully to speaker at the next meeting you attend. I guarantee that almost every speaker will start with the words. What I want to talk about today is think about that line. What he wants to talk about today's. Almost every speaker starts talking by telling his or her audience that this meeting is all about the speaker and what he or she wants. I can't get more self-centered than that. You can't get more self-centered than that. 这是一个非常自我中心的句子。这是一个非常自我中心的行为。You can't get more self-centered than that. Think about the subtle but impactful change in tone. Think about the subtle but impactful change. Think about subtle but impactful change in something. Subtle but impactful change and tone. If instead of starting with what he wants, I can start with, you're all here today because you're concerned about something. I thought it would be helpful to you if we spent a few minutes talking about blah blah blah. The minute we start with helpful to you, we have told our listeners very directly that we have put all of our energy into serving them. We are focused on them, not on ourselves. We're focused on them, not on ourselves. You're all here today because you are concerned about something. You're all here today because I thought it would be helpful to you if we spent a few minutes talking about this. Okay, 三句说起来。You're all here today because you're concerned about something. I thought it would be helpful to you if we spent a few minutes talking about something. You're all here today because you are concerned about something. I thought it would be helpful to you if we spent a few minutes talking about. You're all here today because you are concerned about something. I thought it would be helpful to you if we spent a few minutes talking about something. You're all here today because you are all here today because you are concerned about something. I thought it would be helpful to you if we spend a few minutes talking about something. More importantly, as we plan what we are going to say, structuring our notes or putting together our PowerPoint slides, if we keep thinking helpful to you, helpful to them. We challenge what we share and the way we share it. Am I sharing this information because I know it and find it interesting? Am I sharing it because I did all this work and I'm too busy to change it for this audience? I am busy to change it for this audience? Or am I sharing this information because I genuinely think it's helpful to this audience? It's just for me or just for them? Being helpful to the audience is the only legitimate reason for sharing the information. Legitimate. Conforming to the law or to the rules. Legitimate reason, about able to be defended with logical. Legitimate, 合法的，合理的理由。This is the only legitimate reason for sharing, for doing something. just整句好了。Being helpful to the audience is the only legitimate reason. Legitimate reason for something. If you think of what you have to share, if I think of what I have to share in terms of how it impacts others, my message about myself changes. My message to the world is not about myself, but about how I impact the world. The weighted ideas are done. Weighted idea. The weighted idea are done. The weighted ideas are done. The rest of this book is about how to put this very basic concept of focusing on others into practice in your daily business life. Let's get started. The weighted ideas are done. 就是重点已经说完了，接下来就是怎么实践。How to put this very basic concept into practice in my daily life. How to put this very basic concept of something into practice in my daily business life. My content. In this section, I will learn how to structure my thoughts. I will learn to start with a key message based on what the audience needs to hear. Tell engaging stories that reinforce my key points and organize my content for the greatest impact. 强化 增强 Strengthen or support, especially with additional material. Reinforce. Okay. Tell engaging story. What is the engaging story? Charming, attractive, 迷人的 okay. Engaging story. Reinforce my key point. Tell engaging story. And organize my content for the greatest impact, depending on my objective. Throughout I will learn to keep the focus on my audience throughout. 总之 in every part of 这整篇吧，就 overall 总而言之，对，总之。Throughout, you will learn to keep the focus on my audience, my listeners, or my leaders, or my readers. Okay, chapter 1. What do I mean by that? Conveying a clear message. Once upon a time, telling engaging stories, a place for everything, organizing my content. Chapter 1. What do you mean by that? Conveying a clear message. We communicate in a professional context to accomplish one of two goals. We either want to convey a specific point or we want to build rapport with someone. Build rapport with someone. A close and harmonious relationships. Rapport 密切关系。Build rapport with someone. Both involve focusing on the needs of the person or people with whom we are communicating. These two goals, focusing on the needs of the person or people with whom we are communicating. I am communicating. I recently attended a conference on current economic conditions in New York City. He recently attended a conference on current economic conditions in New York City. The speaker was a senior leader of a global banking institution. He clearly had taken a great deal of time putting together his slide deck. A floor of a ship, a component of unit, playing or recording, tapes or compact, structure of planks and plates, 一叠一叠的平行的 slide deck. I had taken a great deal of time putting together my slide deck, which included complex graphs and charts. He spoke with a booming voice, having a period of great prosperity or rapid economic growth. Booming, loud, deep, 隆隆作响 booming voice. Okay. Booming voice and had a strong presence in front of the room. Presence, the state of fact of existing. Strong 存在感出席 strong presence. Had a strong presence in front of something. He was clearly very intelligent and he knew his content. The audience of 150 people included banking professionals with a wide range of experience. The author, he was picking up occasional interesting data points, but was having difficulty picking up occasional interesting occasional 偶尔发现一个偶尔的 occasional interesting data point 这是怎么样的用法 occasional interesting data 可以不用 point but it was having difficulty following any things. It turns out I wasn't alone. It turns out 结果发现我不是孤单的。结果发现我不是孤单的。It turns out I wasn't alone. It turns out I wasn't alone. It turns out I wasn't alone. It turns out he wasn't alone. At the end of the talk, the speaker asked for questions. A 40-something 的40来岁的 audience member raised his hand and asked, "This is all very interesting, but what do you want us to know?" The speaker seemed baffled. Baffled 愣住了，卡住了，怎么样？困惑的。Baffled, totally bewildered or perplexed, restrained or regulate. Totally restrained, perplexed, what? He seemed baffled. He seems baffled. Do you want me to repeat my whole presentation? He asked. Not at all, the audience member said. I just don't know what you want us to know from all this. Are you hopeful for the economy? Are you concerned? Is there some specific action or approach you think we should adopt? What do you want us to know? Oh, the speaker said. He paused, looked at the screen where his last complicated slide was still projected, and said, I guess I want you to think about the following. I want you to think about the following. I want you to think about the following. He then gave a two-sentence statement that summed up what he wanted the audience to know. It gave context to all of the data he had been sharing. Without that statement, attendees would have left the room with their own ideas of what the talk was about, or worse, befuddled by what they had heard. Befuddled. Unable to think clearly, confused or perplexed. Okay, befuddled. 困惑的 befuddled. I was befuddled by what I had heard. I was befuddled by what I had heard. I was confused by what I had heard. I was confused by what I had heard. I was befuddled by what I had heard. I was confused by what I had heard. I was befuddled by what I had heard. At Exit comment over our 35 怎么又在讲世界上一次 We have helped tens of thousands of people hone their presentation. Hone. Smooth and sharpen.磨到后 sharpen. 磨锐 Hone their presentation skill. Befuddled, confused, then befuddled by what I had heard, and hone the presentation skill. 加强简报技巧 Often in one-on-one coaching settings, when coaching someone, he actually starts by having him run through what he plans to say to his audience, whether the people is meeting individually with an important client or speaking at his company's quarterly town hall meeting. The person often arrives with a complete set of notes or slides he has spent hours preparing. After he has delivered his content, I will start by asking, what's the key takeaway from your audience? What is the one sentence you want resonating in everyone's head when you are done talking? Produce or be filled with a deep, full, reverberating sound. Resonate. You want resonating in everyone's head. What is the one sentence I want resonating in everyone's head when I'm done talking? What is one sentence I want resonating in everyone's head when I'm done talking? What is the one sentence I want resonating in everyone's head when I am done talking? Let us run through what he plans to say his audience, whether the person is meeting individually with an important client or speaking at his company quarterly. 每一季的跟他的公司在讨论 Town hall meeting. The person often arrives with a complete set of notes or slides he has spent hours preparing. After he has delivered his content, the author will start by asking, what's the key takeaway for my audience? So what's the key takeaway for you? So I can take this by the end of the video, by the end of the presentation. So what's the key takeaway for you? What is the one sentence I want resonating in everyone's head when I'm done talking? I'm surprised by how often the presenter says, that's a good question. Let me think about it for a minute. Which means he hasn't verbalized it for himself and therefore didn't tell his audience his main point. Verbalize. Express in word. Verbalize. It hasn't verbalized it for himself and therefore 他都没有跟自己讲说到底这个 slide 到底这个 presentation 要表达什么东西。Think about that. If the speaker himself doesn't express his main point very clearly, his listeners. If the speaker yourself doesn't express your main point very clearly, your listener don't know what they are supposed to hear. What are supposed to hear? Since we all take in information through our own filters. 因为我们都 take in information 根据我们自己的 filter. Since we all take in information through our own filters, each person and the audience may have picked up on a different point in the speaker's talk. and each person leaves with a different impression of the speaker's intent. Intent. Each and the speakers and each persons live with a different impression of the speaker's intent. As a result, the speaker has no ability to control the message his audience hears. Most of the time, we only have impact if the person to whom we are speaking can convey our message to someone else. If I am a lawyer and I'm speaking to the assistant general counsel for my client, that person has to convey my point to the general counsel. So she has to convey my message to the company president. He has to convey it to the chairman, who has to tell the board. 一层一层的沟通的传达关系。There is a better chance that my message will be conveyed consistently if I am clear about the message myself. There is a better chance. What is better chance? 但是这个是很常用的。There is a better chance. There is a better chance that my message will be conveyed consistently if 一致性的被传递，如果我的信息是够正确的话。If I ain't clear about what I want them to know, there is no hope the message will get through. Now think about it from the audience perspective. We all make snap decisions. Snap decisions. What is snap decision? Break suddenly and completely, typically with a sharp cracking sound. Snap, snap. Break. Lose one's self-control. We'll make snap decision. What does this mean? 咬一口 Snap decisions. The we applies to everyone. To us as professionals. To our clients. To our teams. To our colleagues. The we all make snap decisions. The we 代表的是 everyone. To us as professionals. To our clients. 这句话是什么意思？ Many issues we decide on the fly should be decided that way. Many issues we decided on the fly. Many issues we decide on the fly should be decided that way. Fax the document or email it. Delegate the assignment to a junior person or just do it yourself. Mustard or mayo, 黄芥末或者是美乃滋。Delegate. A person sent or authorized to represent others, in particular an elected representative. Delegate 代表 Delegate. The assignment. Delegate. Just do it. 这是交付工作吧。授权给比较 junior 的人去做呢，还是你就自己做？ Unfortunately, we also make snap decisions about important matters. Which client's work is a priority? Is Jack the best associate for this assignment? Should I recommend buy or sell? We make snap decisions because we have so many things to decide in a given day. We make a snap decision, 快速的决定 because we have so many things to decide in a given day. In a given day. 在一天的时间，应该是这样。Since everyone makes snap decisions, each of us has a better chance. Since everyone makes snap decisions, each of us has a better chance of influencing others if we have clear, strong messages that can be easily understood. Honing my message therefore becomes crucial to my success. Whenever I am participating in a discussion with clients or colleagues, craft a clear message. A clear message is short, uses simple language, is focused on the needs of audience. Keep it short. Limit my key message to one sentence, preferably fewer than 10 words long. Limit, keep it short. Keep it short. A clear message is 三个组成的 It's short. Uses simple language. Is focused on the needs of audience. Limit your key message to one sentence, preferably fewer than 10 words. 只能10个字。最好，更可取，最好 ideally. Because so many complex business documents are written in long, complex sentences, we have trained ourselves to think in large chunks of information. Think in large chunks of information. Think in large. Thinking. We have used to think in large chunks of information. Don't just swallow them, but digest them. Well, that is arguably necessary in written documents. Well, that is arguably 这是可以做的事情吗？就是用写的是可以的。It may be argued. 可辩论的，可论证。Arguably. In written documents, it isn't helpful or effective when conveying messages orally. Consider breaking the content into smaller sentences to help your listeners. If we talk for 20 minutes in the meeting, our audience will remember only a few essential comments. If we talk for 20 minutes in a meeting, our audience will remember only a few essential comments. The audience needs to be able to grasp my message quickly and efficiently. The key question is, will my audience be able to repeat this message to someone else after this meeting? Will my audience be able to repeat this message to someone else after this meeting? The audience needs to be able to grasp my message quickly and efficiently. The audience needs to be able to grasp my message quickly and efficiently. The key question is, will my audience be able to repeat this message to someone else after this meeting? If it's unlikely that listeners will be able to do so because the message is too long, too vague, or too difficult. My concentrate is, I'm lost concentration. I read so much sentence and don't have meaning in my mind. I think it is time to break. Vague, 模糊不清的。主要的问题就是说，我的听众有办法去重复我传递的讯息给别人吗？在会议中可以传递讯息吗？如果你的听众，如果我的听众是不能这样做的话，那就是代表说我们传递的讯息太长、太笼、太长、太模糊不清，或是太困难。 这样子的话就没有达到你想要的传递的影响了。Read the following aloud. Everyone's active participation in the banked event is crucial to helping us develop a conscious and cohesive firm culture that we can all be proud of and that will help us attract high-quality associates. Cohesive 有粘着力的。Helping us develop a conscious and cohesive firm culture.